Alright, so let's learn the hard way. Um, let's learn the hard way. FullStack follow FullStack Senior. Alright, so follow FullStack Senior. Description. I don't have this stack. golang, solidjs, and we'll see more coming. Maybe I need to this save. I have a good level, more than a good level for the microphone. I might be just using full gain on the microphone and don't speak directly into the mic. I have a camera view here as well. Don't know what is best to show. But here I showed all of my screens and the setup I'm using. There's like many projects I want to fulfill, and so follow FullStack Senior, unemployed currently, and fighting through the bipolar sickness, and that's about it. Yeah, so I was like running commonly. Let me enable the switcher here. So I was like mostly doing audio input device selection UI, and that looks like let's go. I don't know if localhost. I think it still runs, and I also have Visual Studio Code here. If it might just appear, sorry. This is very weird. Okay, it's a new feature from the window manager. Alright, so maybe I will use it from here instead. So the component itself is audio input select, for which I just have a list of things, a list of inputs that is got from a signal that is injected to the audio input select props. And input is actually a new signal that depends of the props.inputs effect. So it's an effect. So when I have a change, then it's also changes here. And normally, well, here apparently I shouldn't be closing the for loop, or there's a little issue with my for. Should it be like this? No. Show and for, well, it was valid last time, so it just was from an old message. Now it's updated, and we have Vite running on the background. Maybe I will put like the microphone a little higher to really have it the voice straight to the microphone. So we'll see. also something I can do this way to keep the voice straight to the microphone. Alright, so what I want to do today, and I don't know, in the next few hours or few minutes, is to create another component for me to be able to record some audio. I have already made some schematics, but I guess that my capture device here is out of work. Alright, it's back. So yeah, it's mostly not this component here, but only the last component, and there is a little updates I have to make. So we have to create some nice little icons. I think it will be fun to create them for record. Maybe we will draw this in red, and then like there would be like there will be an arrow key, and then like a pose key maybe, and there will be also a little like check mark or upload arrow. So one way to do this is to go through some open SVG, and I'm sure there are some. So open SVG icons, free SVG vector and icons, and easily search and find. So for example, what about upload? Well, it looks great. And then it's just you download the SVG vector or you save it. And they're like linked ones. So I might be using, for example, this one. And then like we can use the SVG and make a component to create our little base of icons. And I want for this to make sure that to be sure that we can create here. I created a components here file. Maybe I can create a new folder, icons. I'm not really a front-end developer, and that can be read very quickly from the tree I'm forming right now on my right. I'm stacking all the components instead of getting them inside a components folder, and I have added this icons things, and I will also save and download the SVG vector for, so you can get them SVG or PNG. So it downloads arrow top to left SVG repo. So I will get so sorry, I'm just charging up my watch. It says okay, charging. So for the little upload icon, we have it in here. So that's the proof of concept. So I would like to be able to either get a new file here or move it from. So I can just say move. Oops. What's going on? Move. Downloads. SVG. So arrow top to left SVG repo. SVG to icons. SVG. Upload those SVG. Upload rec. Come on. SVG. And so now if I want to do export this, I will, instead of exporting the rec SVG file, so I will have to test if this works actually, or if I have to copy paste the SVG content in here, because it's a relative path to upload rec. So I will also attach icon slash flowrec.gsx and try to do something on these. And also I think I had on bookrec, no, on Yag I had it. Here I did merge the dev to the main branch for this step, because sometimes it's good to squash and merge just for the pleasure of seeing what we have been doing so far, and not like making one big squash record commit inside our Git repo. So whatever, I have my rec.jsx here. Let's see if I can just import upload okay, SVG from upload. So there is tailwind CSS, upload rec SVG. Does this actually works, you know? Oops. Import SVG from upload rec SVG. So I have completion here. Does means that I actually do something. And then here I can export function that will be named after upload rec icon, for example. And this upload rec icon so getting the upload rec icon. And we'll have maybe some props, I don't know. and you actually want to return some JSX that contain SVG source so I'm not sure that I could use SVG here. Okay, let me see if we have some. So for now we don't use this, so I don't think that it's being used anywhere. Let me create a new rec, phrase rec JSX. That would be the component for recording a phrase. And here I would like to import you upload rec icon, and it looks like it recognized the path, but let's do a function here, or export that function as well. Function. So I don't know if there are any props, and this function will return my upload rec icon. Okay, and then here apparently I have to name it, so this is called phrase rec, and this phrase rec is gonna be used straight away for the moment inside my application here. So here I need phrase rec. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I'm not sure anything will work and how it would work actually, but localhost 3000. Okay, so it did include for sure there was a premise because it's no allowed by the user or the platform current context. Okay, and are we still with this same error? Not really. So okay, I can use this as well. And here we have data image SVG. So actually what I want to be doing here is I'm finding Visual Studio Code here. So the phrase rec here that imports actually the icon, the JSX icon. This will return something like SVG, and this will be a bit better. I don't see the color, so SVG code here, put that on the right. And not sure that this is SVG code actually, because it's optimized. The question is like, is this SVG? It really doesn't look like SVG code. So data image svg xml. So actually it should be image and source. Let's see. Image source, and the source should be equals to svg. Is it 9? All right, that doesn't work as well. All right, so we finally have our image being drawn here, and I guess that we can with Tailwind right after that in phrase rec we can use the upload a rec icon, and I don't know if we can just class this by giving it wide 2 or height 2, something that is very known into Tailwind users. So height. So there's an automatic max size. We can give it a size value. Can give it size fit, custom property, or h value. So this is it. Or we can give it size, size pixel. So if I give it size, for example, 15 pixels or 24. So I think they changed the way it was implemented. So, but it's okay. Size 10 pixels, for instance. Not sure that it actually affects. The container again. So we got this image source here, and the image doesn't get this class. So maybe if I put it inside a container, and there we go. Same thing here. So this size 10 pixel doesn't look like it is the class I'm looking for. Let's use instead some number 4. All right, now we have it. All right, so we can put then this little icon here for uploading. We can make it like when we get on this upload rec icon. So it's for the upload. I would like the arrow to go from left to right instead of right to left, but I will just stick to this very simple implementation first. And we'll search for more. So this one would be actually a bit more satisfying for me. Can only download this and move top right, arrow to top right. Okay. One sec. All right, so that's for our little arrow. Then we have like we can see another arrow. So I want to change this one. So for the upload rec svg, so uploading it will be as simple as, again, moving the arrow, and I will also commit, make sure that we commit this change. All right. All right, so it's so move downloads top right this time. Two icons, upload rec svg, and this must change the svg file, which is updated, and normally it should now go to the top right. Is it? I think it is. This is it. This is it. So because what I'm putting this one, because I wish that we have a little like other so that's me create another div here. I'm really writing HTML like an old guy. There is always use of the div everywhere, which is not like the new HTML5 standard. They wish us to be writing things to make the accessibility, and all of this is not really compatible with all these divs. So, and that's a little shame for my side, but I don't really know right now, and I can't do everything at the same time. So then instead, I'm just saying, all right, I'm just gonna use a little division here for flex, and this is gonna be flex row, and I will have like my upload rec icon, and here I have like a bigger flex. So I don't remember regarding flexes how you do actually. There is a line flex grow. So flex grow number. So for example, I can use grow on this one, and the other one would be flex known. Grow and known. It would be a good way to do this. So flex grow. And so in here I can see my actual recording visualization. So div and class with some border, for example. So border. So there is border wide, there is border radius. We can use also border radius for rounded small. First, we have to declare the wide. So it's the whole name border. We can use border 2, for example. Let's get back to our app. So this one has been growing full screen. There is one thing that doesn't really work for me, is that this thing is not growing. And it is because there is nothing inside this div, for example. Can I do grow inside now? What if I remove the grow? I might be using as well a max wided. And a minimal height. So here we have a max wided. And here min height. Min h. Okay. So that will be actually our record here, the option for us to upload the record. And then we have play, pause, and actually a record button. So I can put play and pause after this and put record on the left, just to isolate a bit by the design our components or actions we can make. So we have record. Alright, so there's like many little icons, but I will just take a full circle. This one is named record SVG repo. So let me move record SVG icon to icon slash rec record.svg. And same thing, I need to copy and paste and just rename the file for record 6, then SVG here to be changed to upload. To record. Come on. Record.svg. And then I can use it in my phrase rec JSX, where I will change to a light theme here. It's just too much light. That's so good. Just like use the light modern version. So I have a class FlexGrow, and just after this one, I would like to put the same thing as in here, but instead of upload record icon, I have to change the name as well for where is our recorder? So here to record icon, and it's my phrase rec, so it will be record icon. All right. So we have my little record icon on the right. So I thought I told myself that the record icon would be on the left before the upload button. So that's actually what I want to fix, and it is fixed. And it is fixed. And then on the other way, I will add like the play and record, play and pause buttons. Alright, so for play and pause, I will use the same. So play button, for example. And I can stay with the same feeling here with this guy, which is pretty nice. And I can change this later, but like I will keep the outline play button. And let's see. So download this. This is for play button. So it's the same things we're doing. So in icons, I create a new file called play.jsx, and I will export the full function. Well, export function. You know, I could just do export default function. That would work better. With some props maybe. And return. So this time I will move download / play button to icon / play .svg, and import svg from play.svg. Exactly. And I would, instead of returning the function, it needs to return a little image with source. SVG. So I'm not sure that, for example, for record, yeah, I do that. The same thing. Here, and this file name has a little typo in it. So it's play. The img src equals to svg. And here I use export default because now in my phrase rack I can use it a different way. So I can import play icon from icons/play. Now it's a bit different, but it's almost the same syntax. Then div class size for and play icon. Alright, so that should contain the play icon that is just on the left there. I have here border 2. Maybe I should be adding padding 2 as well. But as it's a flex thing, we should use some alignment. And I don't like when I get too much. No, it's not about the height here. It's about the padding. I think there's like other properties for flex boxes, and I will have to get through that sometimes very soon. But for now, I have my play icon, and that's all I wanted. It's just that the box just is right side by side to this little box, and there is multiple ways to actually do this. We can, for example, put 2 divs side by side, one before, one after. And otherwise we can, I don't think padding doesn't works well. It does works. PY PX, sorry. Yeah, it does works pretty well. So so we have our little component here. To play, record, upload. Then the upload button when everything is outlined is very small here. Don't know how I will style it, but for now I'm not looking for too much style. It's much more about to make this function, and I don't know, like like use some colors, or I don't know which minimalist design to go through first. I will just take a glass of water. All right. Let's get back to it. So I have one last icon to implement, which is the pause button. So let me get a pause button. Where is it? Pause. This one is kind of nice, but this one is also bold and kind of like it too. So pose SVG repo. So same thing as usual. Going through here, moving from my downloads. Pose SVG buttons to icons / pose SVG. Then in Visual Studio, I do create a new file for pose.jsx. Oops. So let's rename this to pose.jsx. Import SVG from /pose.svg and export the default function props return. We don't really need props here, but anyways, return image source equals to SVG, and I'm returning this as a image instead of returning something else like the SVG, because they already have the SVG inside of the image. It's an XML encoded image. So if the image source is like this, then it's just all fine. So image source equals to SVG, and in my phrase rack component, I do add the image. So div class equals to size 4 pose icon, and that one is not yet defined here. All right, quite simple. Now I have my play pose and my record everything. I have already made my listing of audio interfaces, and I know which one I'm working on. I don't know. I think it's just a list here for the interface. It's called audio input selects. But before I go there, I would like just to comment my changes. So I will use YAG for this. YAG. Comment. But before, I have to just run YAG and see what are the changes for SVG, GSX, that's what we have been working for. We're working on this file. We have app.jsx. We got phrase rack.jsx. But I don't see SVG files. GitHub git status, sorry, because there is icons files not yet inside it. So okay, git add icons then. And this give me a real status here. So lang svg jsx, there we go. I'm done with this. And yeah, I commit, so I have an alias for this. Okay. So what Claude thinks about my git diff is add phrase rack component with audio controls icons. Created the new phrase rack component with recording interface. Added SVG icons for record. Upload, play, and post controls. Integrated phrase rack components into main app view. Implemented basic layouts with L1 CSS styling. Well, I'm okay with this. Upload, play, and post controls. So now we got to make it functional first. And I have from my initialization of the phrase rack, the audio select component, I already use stream to see which device is being used. So that's one thing. So I will just comment this first. I wanted the phrase rack, the listing of my interfaces are linear like this. I want them in a flex row instead. So instead of this list of items here, I will make the text a bit more, maybe I will change the size of the text, making text small. and I will do a flex row in this UL. So let me check out for VS Code here, where I have audio input select, where I have a list here, and I have a show, and I have for each. So before my for each, I will do UL class equals flex row, and that's until the end of the for. There we go. And so that's for one point here, and then inside also I think I will use text small. So I'm not sure the changes. I've been quiet. So my flex row. Oh, it's because is this column then? Not even column. Maybe because I'm using UL and list. And otherwise, maybe also it has to be the direct children here to make text small first. Okay, so that's one thing. Oops. Extra small, try. And why I can do flex row. So there is no proof why flex row here is working. So I will try to change this by div here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Oops. Same thing here. And I save it and I get exactly the same issue. Maybe it's not flex row. So flex, you have a direction or don't you? This is wrap basis shrinking order, greet row gap. Sorry. Flex direction. We have flex row reverse. Well, that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Flex row. And what's weird is that inside the code here, it does say flex row, and all the elements are taking full size. Okay, that's the issue here. Because the parents, this div is quite big. For this one, I had max whites getting to what I need to my needs, but it's actually the same reason here because they take the full whited. So I'm not sure which property we can use here. Let's see. So if we have like layouts, is this new? Float clear display box sizing. So I already know something, so I don't want these to take the full height, full wided. So they're already in a div that takes full wided of the screen. So and even each one is a div. So div is the one that will make a block, a full block. So if I don't want a full block, not sure what I need of this property. Display inline. All right, inline block. And now this one, it will not take the full, it's like the full width of the whole thing. So this guys should be displayed inline blocks. So I don't know what's the default HTML for that, but I can use here inline. So you can put like inline block. So for the flow of the text, so same thing. So here it wasn't about the lists, so I could just use an ordered list here, put back lists and lists, and these guys actually are inline. Okay. Let's see if that's make it for us. It does. Then you have like some space in between we can use for the block. So I think it's space. Justify, place content, gap. Yeah. So I can put gap with a number and they will be just separated. So gap 4 here, for example, to give it like just a modern look. And here we have the interface where I've been using. I can even, for this guy, the interface we're using a border radius small. Maybe I hit the wrong one. So fallback is the default, and here is actually the one. So border radius small, and like this we have the Steinberg. I don't see the gap property working anywhere. Or is it? No, it's the gap is not working. But gap is for flag box, or is for grid. You do this for controlling gutters between grid and flexbox items. For example, gap 2, gap 4. So right now, not sure. It's a flex row, gap 4, so and related to how it wraps. Also, it's not pretty good. Yeah. So we should be having here a gap by 4, and the gap isn't, I can't see the gaps between the components. So maybe if I just try again, this being um, this being a div, as well as this one, and the fallback upon the div. Okay. We have the same issue. I don't see any gaps. So whatever I do, okay. Class grades call to gap 4. You can play with these. All right. Is it because we don't have a flex grow other order? Either this nor the second. So this is pretty weird. Normally this gap property works pretty well. And it's put at this, that's where we have flex box. So I have only docs for gap for grids, so I'm not sure. Well, do I have to? It's not even refresh. So flex row apparently is giving me a little problem. And even if I put flex call for column, it's not applied here. So there is something else for sure, because even flex call is not giving me. Maybe it's because like the inline again, that I should be using inline instead here, that I'm changing the style of these guys. But then like this make no sense that it's as well an inline box. And let's try to instead return a div and to put this div class inline. Is it? Well, I'm a little sad here. I can't figure it out. Hmm. So I'm supposed to have a way to not um, be using the full width of the of the box each time. So because this box is a full, it's full. It's full because it's inside this division here, and this div we can do display inline. It will not change anything. What about this one? And make it really full wide. Like maybe I have a property in my CSS index. No, just import tailwind CSS. Or in the index HTML. Looks pretty neat. So we were happy with this inline class, but like we were destroying actually the flex property, and now except of making max weighted or something like this, I have no way for each one, for each block, so that the width is limited to some square box. I will have to solve this problem for a moment and another, so it's not really a good solution to just go there, max width at 64 or 32, and hope that, well, like reached the fallback, or it's not even working. So it does work. I'll put a border inside, so it does work, and does tell me that I have my components this way. But then also the gap is not working. Alright, so you see, even if I tell them to go into row, my flex property is not working. Because finally it's drawing them with a full weighted base. Well, I really don't like what is happening here. And I don't have an exact remedy to this horror show. I should be taking a little more of a damn. Okay, well, there is something that is not what I would expect it to be. And I have no idea how to fix it. This flags thing is taking the full whited, it's okay, but these, there's something weird. Why are we taking the full whited? This makes no sense. I'll take another glass of water, just hoping that something comes up into my mind. All right. Well, while I'm blocking on this task, maybe I should like try to get to another task. And the task will be to actually record the audio from Steinberg. It's also I have the same issue actually with these little things. I think that the flex box here is of the size because I have set max to 64. So I don't really know how to fix this actual issue. Yep. Anyway, so I have a stream from index.jsx. I mean from app.jsx I have a stream. Current stream equals to stream. If current stream is false, return. And otherwise we just create the devices, look for our audio inputs, and we display the one that is being used. So that's the thing. And then for record from a stream, so record audio from media stream, get user media, using the media stream recording API. And there's a dictaphone here, example. There's a demonstration, so first of all, so I can allow device. I can record whatever. Stop. And I have a named clip like this. So it's also a good thing that you can visualize the dictaphone here. I will inspect a bit like the page. There's a section class main controls, canvas class visualizer. After that we have some buttons, and I can record whatever, and it works very well. This is like a very cool app. We can try to reproduce. And in the canvas, I think we use the canvas so that we can visualize the waveform. So it's inside of my so I'm sure that this thing about the canvas capturing the media stream. So media recorder equals the new media recorder stream. And here JS recorder on click media recorder to start. And as recording process, we need to collect the audio data. We register an event handler to do this. On data available. Okay. Not sure how to even do this. I'm sorry, but the stream is about to end. I'm feeling too tired to get further. It is like not the right time for this for me. But thank you anyways for who even sticks around. And I hope I will find another project I'm able to fulfill, but this project is a little bit too difficult for me right now. Too hard. But let's continue learning the hard way. There's no reason for not having an hour and 30 minutes, so I guess my ability to concentrate is not very good. Alright, thank you again, and see you soon.